Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Director of Training at the Atlas Network. I want to thank you all so much for joining us here in Mumbai. It is always such an honor to join our colleagues here in Asia and to hear about the great victories for liberty and the work that you are all doing. We are already in full swing with the Asia Liberty Forum, and judging from the Twitter feed I've been seeing everywhere, it is obvious that this is one for the books. As many of you know, the Atlas Network, our mission is to strengthen the worldwide freedom movement, and we do that through a three-pronged strategy: coach, compete, and celebrate. We coach through training opportunities like our Atlas Leadership Academy. We encourage competition, friendly competition, through a competitive grants process, as well as a series of awards like the ones we'll be highlighting this afternoon. And we celebrate the amazing victories for liberty that you all achieve through conferences like this, as well as through our online and various print publications. Today, we are celebrating two such successes by honoring the finalists of the 2017 Asia Liberty Awards. This award recognizes think tanks who have worked to increase prosperity and opportunity for others through removing barriers to enterprise and entrepreneurship. We have all been so encouraged to see think tanks across the globe that have taken up this mantle to promote reforms that allow entrepreneurs to innovate, expand, and provide value for all of us. The work that these think tanks have done is increasing their country's rankings in reports like the Ease of Doing Business Index and the World Economic Freedom Report. Today, we have asked our two finalists to encourage and inspire all of us through 12-minute TED-style talks. They'll each present, and then we should have time for question and answers. So first, I'd like to call to the stage Mr. Prashant Narang, advocate for the Center for Civil Society.
Thank you, Cindy. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Center for Civil Society, I'm going to take you through our project, Jivika. Thanks. So our project Jivika has several components. We have worked with street vendors. We have worked with education on the entrepreneurs. We have worked on the issue of bamboo. We have also taken up a project on ease of doing business. I'll take you through each one of them. To begin with, street vendors. So we have been working with street vendors in Jaipur for many, many years. They have faced evictions, they faced harassment, extortion from police and local authorities. We mobilized those street vendors, and the result was a state-level law in 2012. But the law was not implemented, so we filed a writ petition in association with the Vendors Union and Center for Policy Solution. Sanjay Garg from Jaipur is here. So the case continued for almost 3 years. It took a long time. Meanwhile, the central government, Parliament also enacted a law to protect street vendors, and it was a stronger law than the state level act in 2014. But that law was also not implemented. We partnered with Media Action Group of a leading newspaper in Rajasthan called Rajasthan Patrika, and we ran a campaign in media for almost 2 months. And the result was the High Court of Rajasthan delivered a judgment in February 2015, and the High Court clearly directed that the vendors be protected, no arbitrary evictions to take place, and so on and so forth. So that was a success. However, the success came with riders. The problem was the High Court also observed that the central law is not applicable to Rajasthan because there was no notification that made it applicable to state of Rajasthan. However, there was a notification which was issued by the central government for whole of India. It didn't have to say that it is applicable to a particular state or not. It was applicable to whole of India. Vendors reported that the evictions continued. So we decided to visit Jaipur ourselves. We went to Jaipur and we saw evictions happening right before us. As an advocate, I thought of, and I actually did, we along with other vendors, we went to the police station and we asked them to lodge an FIR. So this was an FIR against the police in the police station. We said, because they are not following laws, why don't you lodge an FIR against cops?
These days, our e-books are more popular than the original one. As you know, competition is a very good device to have a good quality of products. So we use that principle of competition to get good quality of Liberty products. So we have several contests: cartoon contest and the photo contest. So applicants spend a lot of time to think about how to put the Liberty idea on cartoon and photos. So this photo, you see one cut snap cartoon to show the importance of liberty in world economy. With the degrees of liberty which had experienced in recent economic policy in Korea, Korea will be behind our surrounding countries, for example, Japan and China. This cartoon shows one snapshot to say, that, word. Okay, so next is a photo contest. The first one shows national security is the most important. Do you feel it from that picture? The second one is to show the activity, the active aspects of market economy with a picture of a traditional market as you have. So we also have music competition. There are so many different kinds of music. Classical music is one of them, but classical music is very difficult to put the liberty concept in it. So we use rap song. So you will hear just in a quick time for rap song from my rap competition. Yeah, sorry, it's okay. For me, it is very loud and crazy music. I don't like rap song. However, those rap songs become so popular, especially to young generations. They put liberty concept into rap song, like a famous in the musical in America, Alexander Hamilton, one of the American founding fathers. So we need contents of liberty, but we also need to develop how to disseminate the liberty concept into ordinary people. That is the topic my institute is trying to pursue for the future. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hyun. Last night we heard from Miss Sreyoshi Guha, and she gave us a challenge to make the ideas of liberty a little bit more fun to reach the young people, and I think CFE has taken that challenge to new heights. Thank you very much for your work. All right, we have time for 2 questions before we head into the next session, so we can take 2 of them. Who do we have? We've got here, Mr. Chandra.
My simple question is for our friend from South Korea. When you create some cartoons or rhetoric or music, or rap songs, etc., how do you measure its impact? That's all.
We do not make by ourselves. We advertise a competition. So we advertise how much price is it. So then a lot of applicants come to us. Then we screen, we evaluate, and we choose. So actually for cartoon, actually the price is not high, not like Atlas. But the applicants is so high, I think in more than 30. So we chose 3 out of 30 cartoons. Actually, I didn't mention for this presentation that this year we had another one, movie contest. So when I say movie contest, don't think about 1 or 2 hours in a movie. We say just a 30-second movie. 30 seconds. So I don't know how many people will apply, but deadline is next month. So I'll let you know the result. Actually, it's very hard. We don't have any quantitative index. Just we have that qualitative evaluation. We haven't tried. We haven't tried so far. So especially in the cartoon, it's very, very important. A lot of, especially youngsters, we do not have, several pages cartoon. We don't need just a one shot. Then we need a very creative artist, cartoon artist we have.
All right, time for one last question. Mr. Reiner?
Also a question to the gentleman from the Center for Free Enterprise. You put the 4 figures at the beginning, the 4 images of these men on your presentation, and one of them was President Park, who was, in my understanding, ruling Korea with an iron fist. He was actually a military leader who had an autocracy and went against the human rights of the people. Now in a Liberty Forum, I think it's important why you put his image on a PowerPoint.
Yeah, that is a very sensitive question. But there is a political thing. At that time, my country, by appearance, it was a democratic country, but the economy was nothing. As I said, it's the poorest country. So how can you achieve the economic prosperity? So on the way go to that economic prosperity, President Park used sort of authoritative government. So we do not say that is a dictator. So most of Korea is a few countries which achieved rapid economic growth within a short period of time. So political things is pretty reasonable, I think. But of course, there are many other persons to criticize those aspects, negative aspects of President Park Chung-hee. All right.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Prashant and Jun, for your presentations, as well as for the wonderful work you've done to bring more opportunity to those in Korea and India. So one last round of applause for them.
Good job.
I want to thank, again, all of you for joining us today, and we can't wait to see your submissions in next year's Asia Liberty Prize. So go get those achievements, make that impact, and share with us next year. Just as an announcement, you will be able to hear the winner of the 2017 Asia Liberty Award tonight at the Freedom Dinner. The reception begins at 6:30 and dinner begins at 7, so be sure to join us there. Final 2 announcements. Please be sure that you fill out this survey. It's on your tables. Just fill it out and leave it there. We really use this feedback to prepare for next year's Liberty Forum, so we appreciate that. And finally, since I have the microphone, those of you who attended the Big Ideas training earlier this week, if you could meet us outside by the pool in 5 minutes to take a group photo, I would really appreciate it. Back to you, Sadas.
Thank you. Thank you, Cindy, and thank you, gentlemen.